anything that you could bump into as Cyclops here. So just for your safety, right?
Can't see anything.
Yes, now you can't see anything. Before we start your panel, why don't you say hi to all your Filipino fans who are super excited to have you
Hey guys,
here.
how's it going? Great to see you all. It's great to be here. Gundam, yeah.
I think they're still kind of stunned that you are joining us here, but I understand that this is your first time in the Philippines, is that correct?
Yeah, it's my first time.
How's your stay been so far?
It's been amazing. I just got in Friday night. We got in pretty late, and then we've been doing all the Comic-Con stuff this weekend. So I haven't had much time to go out and see the city, but I can't wait to see more and go visit some of the islands and go to the beaches and see all that the Philippines has to offer.
So just for the record, Tye, does that mean that you're gonna come back to the Philippines?
I think so.
I think so is a good enough answer for me. So what we're gonna be doing this afternoon is we have a lot of people, of course, wanting to ask you questions. So we're just gonna open the floor to all of the questions that you guys want to ask, and you can approach any of our ushers so they can hand you a mic, if that's okay. And you can also make some noise, guys, so that po tayo sa player meeting. Pwede po kayo mag-ingay. Alrighty, do we have our first question? Right there, the little boy with the glasses.
That's a good question. Your guess is probably just as good as mine.
So not very sure when. Okay, I think we're gonna need like a mic. There, the lady holding her camera.
Oh my God, he's so powerful.
So her question is, what is it about your character that you play on screen that's also kind of the same with you in real life? Is that correct?
Yeah, like what do you have in common? Like that you could say that Tye Sheridan is also that same person in some way.
In Ready Player One?
Anything?
Yeah, it was actually kind of a coincidence when I became part of the project and heard about it because I was completely obsessed with VR at the time, and I was playing tons of VR games and trying to find ways to create narrative VR content. So when I heard that they were making Ready Player One into a film and that Steven Spielberg was directing it, I was obviously really excited. But I was like, regardless of whether or not I was going to be involved in the project, I was just really excited, just in general, because I couldn't wait to see the movie. And then I did end up getting casted in it, so it was kind of an odd coincidence, that the character spends, so much of his time in a virtual world. And I think that, I've had, I think my obsession with VR was a little similar. So I guess there was a little bit of a parallel there.
The VR obsession is what we're going for, yeah. Okay, many more questions from the crowd. Anybody from our ushers?
Hi, so what's your most memorable memory with the X-Men cast? I love your smile.
Thank you, I love your applause. my favorite memory from, sorry, what was it?
The X-Men cast.
Oh, gosh, it was, they're such a, it feels like you're, having a party all the time when you're working on an X-Men movie, and I mean that in the best way. The cast is, everybody's just so lovely to be around and to work with, and everybody's extremely funny, although most of the actors in the movies I think do a lot of drama, but I mean these guys are just professional comedians. Yeah, so it's always a joy. It's never boring, and I look forward to doing more movies with the X-Men family.
Yeah, I think it's such an adventurous, group of people, and so you have to have a bit of fun into it, right? To have that all together. Okay, so we've got a couple more questions. Let's get somebody from the middle. Yes. I'm giving the usher a really hard time by picking it up. Okay.
Do you miss Scout Guide to Zombie Apocalypse cast or
What's the question?
do you miss the
the time you were in Scout Guide to Zombie Apocalypse?
Do I miss it?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that was really fun because that was I was 17 when we made the movie, and we shot the movie in Los Angeles, and I think it was one of the first times I was ever away from my family, and I was working by myself and learning how to grow and be an adult. But yeah, that was extremely fun because it was the first comedy that I had ever worked on at that time, and it was, I got to loosen up a bit and just have some fun. So I'll remember that forever, I think.
Awesome, thank you for that question. I know that, is it true that you've always wanted to be a baseball star? Is it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I wanted to be a baseball player when I was a kid, for sure. And then I found out I wasn't good enough, so I thought maybe I would try the movie thing.
So you were just gonna be like, okay, I'm just gonna VR my way through life, be as swagger as possible, and maybe play baseball.
I'll be
in
a
Oasis.
professional baseball player in VR.
Yes, that's right. That's the way to go. It's much easier to be that way. Okay, let's someone from this side, at the back, the person jumping. Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, I have absolutely no work here.
Hi, Tye. Hi. I just wanted to know, since you kind of look like Steven Spielberg, would you do a life story movie? And are they gonna have a Phoenix Force 5 movie eventually down the line? After the Phoenix saga?
Okay. I can't even see you. I don't know where you are, but oh, there you are. Sorry. I thank you for the compliment. I mean, if I'm anything like Steven Spielberg, I think that's a plus. If they're gonna make a movie about him, would I play Steven Spielberg? If I had his approval, sure. And then the question about Dark Phoenix was. Geez, I don't know. You know what? You'd have to call Fox or Marvel or Disney or whoever it is now and ask them.
We want Tye to keep his job by not spilling any details that we can't spill out just
They don't
yet.
tell me anyway, so.
They keep it from you. They have to protect everybody. Yes, lady in the middle with the cap, waving her hand. Yes.
Hi, Tye. I'm gonna fan girl. I love Real Life.
Go girl.
I love Real Life. You and Jessica Chastain could make a real life mother and son. Yeah. And then X-Men. It's my favorite superhero franchise, and I'm so happy that you're part of it. And then I saw Mud because I'm a fan of director Jeff Nichols, and I was blown away by your performance, like everybody else here in the room. And then, yeah. And since then, I followed your career. I'm Anyway, they're asking me to ask a question. So here's my question. Did you finish wrapping up the night clerk? And then just follow up. What can you expect from you? In terms of roles.
It sounds like a Miss Universe question, isn't it? It's really difficult.
So I'm from Texas. Yes, we finished up shooting The Night Clerk. We shot in Salt Lake City, Utah. It was an amazing experience. The movie's about a hotel night clerk who has Asperger's. And I think to make movies that explore certain themes or messages or obstacles that people face in life, or for instance in The Night Clerk, our main character has Asperger's, and I think that a lot of people are unaware of what the syndrome actually is, or how you view the world when you have Asperger's. So I think making films like that are directed at a cause and it's very important, that studies something or helps people better understand something that they didn't before. So your question about what can you expect, in the future, I think anything like that, something that you can tackle and you can face and you can help the world become a better place with your work.
And we also get a Miss Universe answer. Thank you, Tye. Okay, you may now choose whoever you want to give the chance
Okay,
to
here we
ask
go.
a question.
How about you in the red there?
Hi, Tye. Since obviously we all know that you play Cyclops, so how did you prepare for the character, which was previously played by James Marsden? And in your portrayal of this character, Cyclops, do you try to copy more of his portrayal of Cyclops, or do you try to create your own unique version of Cyclops?
Sure. Well, first let me just say that I love James Marsden and I love how he played the character. So, yeah, I felt like it was a big, it was a big responsibility for me to keep the character going and to step into his shoes, basically, or step into the character's shoes. So yeah, I went back and I think I was a fan of the franchise. So, when I found out that I was going to be doing the movie, I was extremely excited and so happy to become a part of the franchise. But yeah, I think it's important to take note of what the character was before, and also to understand, with the new movies, like understand that you're going back and you can kind of recreate the character and do things that you have the opportunity to do things that you didn't or that weren't there before, and so that's also really exciting. And of course, you want to pay homage to the character and who he is and why we all love him. Of course, I think that's very important to keep in mind, but also understand the new possibilities and opportunities you have.
Awesome, thank you for that question. Somebody from this side, please. Anybody? Sorry, I can't see because of the light. That one guy in the yellow shirt that's been jumping around since the beginning of time. That dude right there, he's been working his biceps the whole afternoon, just trying to ask a question. We need to give him a chance because everybody deserves chances.
Well said.
That dude, yes, him. Give him a mic. Grab the mic if they don't want to give it to you. What?
What's your favorite part of Ready Player One?
What's your favorite part of Ready Player One?
I'm pretty sure.
Not sure? I love the Iron Giant because I watched that film so many times when I was a kid. I probably watched that movie hundreds of times, and to see on screen the Iron Giant standing next to the avatar that I play in the movie was pretty cool, and I never thought that would ever happen. So yeah, I guess that's my favorite part.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Do we have the dude in the yellow shirt already? Yes! Congratulations, bro! Here we go.
Hi. With the Disney-Fox merger happening, do you think that there's still hope for the X-Men universe? What's to happen? Is Dark Phoenix still coming?
I don't know, the merger's pretty new, so... But one can hope, right?
We hope.
Thank you, fingers crossed.
Man, you waited for so long for that question. Congratulations, man. Okay, let's get someone from the very back. There we go. Right smack in the middle. Here we go.
Hi.
Hi, Tye.
Hi.
I wanted to know, hi, there you are.
Breathe, my friend, breathe. In and out, in and out.
I'm kind of blanking out here. So I'm a big fan of the X-Men franchise, and I wanted to know if, this is probably a very famous question for you, but if you can be anyone else from the X-Men franchise or the Avengers franchise, who would you be?
Maybe Quicksilver? Yeah, Quicksilver or... Okay, but I don't think he's in the Avengers, huh? Oh, he's in that, okay. So, I don't know. Deadpool's cool. Quicksilver, Jean Grey.
It's valid. It's valid. It is. It really is. Okay, any more questions? Tye, would you like to pick one?
Sure. How about the one over there in the back that's jumping up and down?
Hi, Tye.
Hey there.
I would like to ask, for you, who is the most badass character aside from yourself in the movie Ready Player One?
The most badass in Ready Player One? She's telling me to say Chucky, say Chucky. I would say Artemis. Samantha Cut.
I
Super
really
badass.
ship you and Olivia.
Do you have a real life Artemis in your life?
Nice question.
I can only wish.
Great. We have a great spot to fill that, Filipinas. Girl in the cat ears. Oh, we already picked one? Yeah. It's not my job.
Hi, Tye. Hi, Tye.
Where is that person talking? God? Where are you? There we go. Okay.
Hi, Tye. Just want to ask, when you were given a character, are you given like do you do workshops or you try to do an immersion, especially with this new movie and like what you do with the X-Men, something like that?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very good question. I think it's important to find something that you relate to in the character, and something, sometimes I think everyone faces a challenge in their life, or so when I pick certain roles, I try to find that challenge to be parallel in my real life. For instance, if it's in Ready Player One and you're struggling with your identity or how, your friends think about you at school or whatever it is, I think that it's always been really important to me to find those things and I think identify the humanity in the role and spend a lot of time thinking about that, and because I think those things make the heart of the character kind of come alive.
Awesome. Thanks, Tye. More questions from... you wanna...
Sure, how about Cyclops over there?
You're the only Cyclops in the group, bro.
It's a very committed outfit.
Yeah. Buti pa yung outfit niya committed. Sorry, I just said that it's a good thing at least his outfit is committed. Unlike sorry, continue, Cyclops.
First of all, hi, Tye. I dressed up as Cyclops just to see you, actually. This is my question. Without spoiling anything, how much did Cyclops grow after X-Men Apocalypse?
Oh, yeah, a lot actually, because I think in the last film, it's 10 years prior before this film takes place, and a lot of the younger X-Men have become professors or teachers at the school, and so they're taking on roles that are much more adult. They're all much more adult now, and so he's going to grow a lot from the last film to this film and throughout the course of this movie. Thank you.
Thank you. Another question from our usher at the back. Yes?
If you could make Ready Player One a VR game, would you?
Where are you? Oh, you're there. Do you like VR?
Yeah.
What headset do you have?
Gear VR.
Okay, all right.
Yes. It's hot.
There's a cool mask though. I think that would be, if I had the ability to make Ready Player One into a VR game, I definitely wouldn't be here, but yeah, I think so. I think it would take a lot of work. Maybe one day we'll see it happen.
We'll make our own little oasis. Tye, get another one?
There's a balloon over there. I don't know if it has a question, but it's...
Hi, Tye.
Hey there.
Player One. I just stole the mic from my friend here. Because he doesn't have any question because he's blanking out. Tye, you're so handsome. My gamer name, by the way, is Artemis also. I might be a real life Artemis. If you want to go back to the Philippines, I can be your tour guide. Nicely done. Okay, so here's my question. Because you're a jock, you look like a jock. Me and my friend wonder what aspect or what area are you a geek? Do you consider yourself a geek? Because you look like a jock in high school or something.
I look like a jock in high school?
Yeah, because you're so hot.
Filipinos, straight to the point, we just want you to know. And since you told us already that you don't have a real life Artemis, the position is open, everybody.
I'm definitely a geek. Yeah, I geek out about music and movies and what's that? John Hughes. Yeah, I geek out about John Hughes. Sure. Yeah, I would consider myself a geek. I'm like a. Sometimes I'm like I love sports as well. So when I was a kid, I would sit down and watch the sports channels with my dad, and I could memorize people's stats. And then when people would talk about them in conversation, I would recite their stats. So yeah, definitely a geek.
A cute geek, which makes it even better, right? Okay, more questions, Tye? Go ahead.
How about right in the front here?
Hi. My question will be, if you hadn't got into acting, what would you do for a living, and what else you like to do except acting?
That's a great question. When I was a kid, I thought that I've always been interested in storytelling and finding ways to do something that would, I guess, affect the public or leave my footprint on the world in some way, in a positive way. So I don't know. I guess I would be doing something along those lines. Hopefully, I always thought that maybe I'd become a novelist or some kind of writer before I got into film, and then this kind of took off, and here I am now. But maybe I'll try it later on in my life.
Not too late. We'll be waiting for the boot, Tye. Okay, more questions from our usher. Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Breathe, my love. Breathe. We can do this. Please don't faint. We don't want Tye to be freaked out. Okay.
Hi. I'm a massive fan.
Thank you.
What was it like filming Ready Player One?
Thank you so much. It was such a joy. It was a dream come true for me because I was working with Steven Spielberg, who has impacted my life and my childhood, and I spent so many hours of my life watching his films, and probably spent a lot of hours in the swimming pool with my friends doing this, dun 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 dun, swimming up behind them. So yeah, I think it's such an honor for me because he's impacted my life probably as many, just like many others sitting here. In so many big ways. So I think to do that, to have a professional relationship and to ask him questions and learn from him and the rest of his crew and the rest of our cast was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you for that question. I think we're gonna have to wrap up the rest of the questions already. Is that correct? Wrap it up already. But we'd like to thank you guys again for all those wonderful questions. We hope that you got to know Tye a little better. But Tye, before we let you go, any message to all of your Filipino fans who are so thrilled to have you here and who have been supporting you ever since you were, a kid, growing up in film in front of us?
No.
all the way till now that you're Cyclops.
Thank you. No, it's such an honor to be here. Really, I mean, I've never seen such passionate people in my life. I think, not only because of me, just like everything. I've just sat and watched, some of the other speakers, and I just love the passion from everyone, and you guys are so sweet, and you guys have such great questions, and so many people are smiling, and it's a beautiful thing to see. I will. Thank you for the invite.
That's because we love you and we appreciate you. Give it up once again for Tye, everybody! Ladies and gents, if you would like to take photos,